And you certainly do not want to miss the National Gallery of Art. It's one of the top art museums in the world. It has got a huge collection of European and American paintings and sculptures that dates all the way from the Middle Ages right up to the 20th century. It's not part of the Smithsonian. It's a separate museum endowed by Congress, founded by Andrew Mellon. The National Gallery certainly has to be ranked in the top 10 fine arts museums worldwide. Their collection of Impressionism, their collection of the Italian Renaissance, their sculptures, all are there to delight and please you. The East Wing has the contemporary collection. In the main building of the National Gallery, the Rotunda in the lobby looks very much like the Pantheon in Rome. Let's walk inside and have a look around the National Gallery for the next couple of minutes. The West Building was designed by John Russell Pope, who also designed the Jefferson Memorial that has a similar dome reminiscent of the Pantheon, opened in 1941. It has Renaissance paintings from Holland. There's Hans Memling. There's panels and triptychs. There's several Vermeers, 1, 2, 3 Vermeers. There are only about 20 known Vermeers in the world, so this is quite a sampling we've got here, as well as many other Flemish masterpieces. And the Impressionist collection and Post-Impressionist is superb. We've got Pissarro, we've got Renoir, there's Monet, there's Manet. We have gallery lectures that you can participate in as well. And each room has a handout with descriptions of the paintings, so it's very well organized. Admission is free, so this is a very welcoming museum. And the collection is wide-ranging. In addition to the Impressionists we're showing you here, there's a large collection of Dutch paintings, German, British paintings, American paintings, Cézanne's Table with Fruit, and there's Gauguin, Van Gogh, Degas, Mary Cassatt, Corot, Toulouse-Lautrec, and Leonardo da Vinci, the only da Vinci outside of Western Europe. It's an encyclopedic collection with all of the major artists and periods of art history in the Western world well represented. There was 3 criterion that Mellon utilized in selecting paintings. It had to be one of the artist's great works, it had to portray a subject of great interest or beauty, and it had to be well preserved. Next door is the East Wing. This is a radical change. It's a contemporary collection, and the building was designed by I.M. Pei. It's geometry in motion here, the radical knife-edged wing of the East Building. The light-filled structure has been called one of the extraordinary interior spaces in the history of 20th century architecture. And it houses a collection of contemporary and modern art. Calder's Mobile was created specially for that space. And they have some smaller rotating exhibits too, this one including a self-portrait by Van Gogh. There's collections including Joseph Stella. Don't miss Picasso's Blue Period, and a special gallery all of its own. You'll experience delight and surprise as you walk from one gallery to the next in the East Building. There's statues by Brancusi and others representing the 20th century, paintings by Matisse. He and Cézanne together brought art from the beauties of the 19th century into the modern world of the 20th century. Modernism represented also by Leger with his industrialism, Giacometti's existential sculptures, Mondrian's geometric patterns, pop art, sculpture, Degas. The collection goes on and on. You could easily spend 2 hours in the East Building, but after all, time is limited. It's always a problem when you're traveling, what to do with your time. Well, please try and find some time to visit the East Building. And outside, you'll notice Henry Moore's statue, nicely complementing I.M. Pei's architecture. There's a fine collection of American paintings here as well, and beautiful little courtyards, fountains, cafes, benches. You can just come in here and have a snack. You don't even have to look at the arts to enjoy your visit to the National Gallery. The Renwick Gallery introduced the Second Empire style of architecture to America. It was completed just after the Civil War, and it was Washington's first art museum. The Grand Salon is one of the handsomest rooms in Washington. Today the museum houses mostly decorative arts. The National Museum of American Art is located in this vast building that was the old patent office. It was the largest building in America when it was constructed. It opened in 1867, and in 1968 it was converted into the National Museum of American Art, and also the National Portrait Gallery shares space in the building. It has art from all the different phases of American history. There's folk art, there's paintings, there's sculpture, there's a large collection of the Hudson River School, there's Thomas Eakins, there's Winslow Homer. There's all of the greats in American art history, right up through Andy Warhol, as well as some contemporary cutting-edge special exhibits. Usually 15 times a year, they have different rotating exhibits that come through the National Museum. Nam June Paik has a spectacular video installation here. He's a Korean-American artist who was the innovator of video arts. And there are 3 large paintings of the American West by Thomas Moran, including the Chasm of the Colorado and 2 views of Yellowstone National Park. Another art museum you might enjoy is the Corcoran, one of the few in Washington that is not part of the Smithsonian. The Corcoran Gallery is a private museum of art that's open to the public, not associated with the Smithsonian. Has the famous portrait of George Washington. He's on your dollar bill, painted by Gilbert Stuart. It's a virtual who's who of American art. Benjamin Franklin. There's some great colonial art as well as modern and contemporary pieces inside the Corcoran. There are some notable statues and an especially good collection of paintings, including some French Impressionists. It's very strong in the American Hudson River School with paintings by Frederick Church. Here's a statue by Daniel Chester French, the sculptor who carved Lincoln at the memorial. Paintings by Degas, among other French masters. And the American West is beautifully represented in oil paints here at the Corcoran. Yosemite, Yellowstone, many of America's great landmarks. It's a very comfortably sized museum, and there's sitting areas and there's a cafe. You can sit down and relax.